Welcome to another episode of Reseller Evolution. I'm Scott.
And I'm Carl.
How's it going, Carl?
That's great.
Great.
All light and love.
Nice. Okay. It's been a while. It's been a long time.
It has been a bit.
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
I've been busy. I've been busy.
Excuses.
I know.
Just moving a whole house.
A show, and it's my fault that it didn't get online because I've just been busy. So I didn't get to edit it. I didn't get to upload it.
Yeah.
And then we were going to skip a week, which you would have heard in the previous week, but that I didn't upload. So, anyways, should be back to normal now.
I think so.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But I think everything should be back to normal. Got internet now, so that's good.
Yep.
Steph and I moved here about a week now. We've been moved in, so.
Well, it's exciting for me because I see a new background now.
Yeah, new background. Yeah.
A bunch of what do they call it? Wood paneling? But it's not paneling. It's kind of.
Yeah, it's wood. I don't know if it'd be paneling.
I wouldn't call that paneling because they're individual boards. Wainscoting set to the ceiling. Does that make sense?
I don't know. They just. It's just wood. So this. I'm downstairs. I have all my eBay stuff downstairs.
Yeah,
and eBay and booth, but all my reselling stuff is going to be coming downstairs, and I've converted the bar without modifying it. Just kind of took the bar part and made it into a desk, and so it's close to the alcohol. No, I'm just kidding. We don't really have much alcohol. It's on the fridge upstairs, but no, just kind of utilizing the bar as a desk, which gives me lots of room.
Yep.
And it sits up a little high, but I have one of those barber chairs, so I just pump that up high and it's perfect. And so that's what you see behind me is I don't know if you call it paneling or wood. It's I'm sure it's kind of like a clipboard where they slide into slots and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I like it. I think it makes the room kind of cottagey looking, the downstairs room. Obviously, it's not like the sort of the house. The upper part is different, but just drywall, paint. But this house I think was built in the 80s, 84, something like that, I think. Can't really remember, but it was in the 80s. So, I don't know. It's good shape.
Back to the basement with you, too. I think most resellers seem to work in the basement.
Well, you have to keep it out of, the public area. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, well, first of all, Steph has got a couple grandkids that come here. So you don't want to put stuff that's on eBay where they could maybe accidentally break it. You know what I mean? So I bring it down here. And the way I'm going to have it set up, it's kind of like a living room, and I just put shelves or display cases around the perimeter, and we're going to have couch and stuff come down here. We have a TV. It can be a seating area, but it's also people can come here and take a look. I don't have a problem with that. I just don't want, things that are listed to get broken or misplaced and I can't find it or whatever, because then you're just opening yourself for problems. But most of it's going to be behind glass, the expensive stuff, and the kind of, I don't know, just other stuff will be set up on the shelves. So.
Oh, good. I'm surprised you can have a couch then there. I kind of like it separated because I just can see myself covering the couch in inventory if I'm not careful.
It's not going to get like that anymore. Well, at least I'm going to try not to. Now I have lots of room. So the reason we're going to have a couch down here is because that's going to allow Steph to come down here, and we have a TV here.
Yeah.
And we can I can still work, and we can kind of, be social. She's not upstairs by herself. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It really makes no difference. The TV upstairs is a little bigger. That's about it, right? And I just don't want to. I'm not going to bring everything in and be walking over it because it gets in my head, and that's not good either. So I bring it in as I need it. Right now, it looks a little bit messy, but that's because I'm doing my inventory. I cleared my whole store, and just because of the move, I don't know if anything got broken. I don't know if anything got lost. So I just cleared the whole store and I'm just relisting stuff. It's surprising how much stuff, first of all, and I said this last time, but it's happening again where things just aren't listed. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So I'm
Yeah.
finding stuff that I've got stored away, but it's not even online. Second of all, some of my shipping costs were off because they were old listings with different shipping. Some of it was old listings that, you know what, if I drop the price by, 20%, 25%, well, I might as well just put it in the booth now. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be a
Yeah.
quicker sale out of the booth for the same price is what I'm going to drop it to.
I
So
get that.
I have probably, I don't know, I'm just looking over here. I have 20, 30 items ready to go to the booth that I'm not going to relist. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a cleansing at the same time as, the inventory is there just to make sure everything's here and not misplaced or broken. So
I did the same thing about 7 months or 8 months ago. I can't remember. I did a purge. I consolidated a lot of my inventory into because I had less stuff, so I put can open up a bunch of areas where I could put more stuff. And I found a lot of times there was a lot of inventory that were in my listed boxes that were not listed.
yeah.
So eBay definitely drops listings. There's no doubt about it for me.
Yeah.
But also it's like, and it happened just the other day where I had a Viewmaster sell. I think it sold for like 5 something. Like, really, I don't want that online anyways.
Yeah.
Because like with Viewmaster, I'm still gonna like protect it quite a bit. Although I think I used a stay flat on that because I felt lazy that day. But unless it's postcards, I really don't want things selling that cheap.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. Although if it's super rare or it might be hard to like not super rare, but it can be hard to sell in the booth or see because it's super small, like that kind of thing. I might just keep it online. Like there's a couple of things I actually put to $24.95, and that has a lot to do with the shipping has dropped too quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a glitch. We can talk about that later if you want, but
we have scars.
we
I
have
was so angry. Yeah.
But that was only a couple days, thank goodness, because in our minds it was going to be a lot longer.
Oh my god.
But $24.95 for a small item that's going to cost $6 to $8 to ship, right? Like Canada with the expedited delay, it's probably going to cost about $6. If it goes to the US, it's probably going to cost about $7 or $8. So it kind of makes a little bit of sense if you got nothing into it or a buck or what I mean.
I have no problem with $24.
Yeah,
or even 15.
like $24.95, but yeah,
it's the $5 stuff.
Yeah,
I should look now. Actually, I'm just kind of curious, like how much. My problem is my store's full of postcards, and you can't eliminate stuff on the search engine anymore. Like you used to be able to put minus the postcards, and that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's very annoying. Yeah, here, what I got a calculator. Oh, $22. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's still kind of a pain to have to take pictures, but if it's something that's just like 2 or 3 pictures, easy to deal with, easy to package, that can make sense. We've talked about that before. I know you agree with that, but
yeah,
you could probably go through 10 of them, which is now $250 in roughly the same times it might take you to package a $150 item. You know what I mean? Where you got to bubble wrap it.
That's right.
Frankenstein a box and all that kind of stuff. So there are, like, I was pretty stuck there for a while on the $30 things, but sometimes it would get me to the point where, okay, this has got to go online, and I'm going to ask $30 when really it's only worth $25 and it's not going to sell. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, you want it to be the 30.
I want it to be 30 because that's my threshold. So I brought some of that kind of stuff down, and I want stuff to move too, right? So, if you even to put it, even if it's worth $30-$35 and you throw it for 25 because you've had it for a while, I mean, you just got to adjust, right? That's all.
Yeah.
Like that's the way I kind of do it. I try to stick to my thoughts, but there is a point where I get to realize, okay, I've got to pivot here. I've got to change this a little bit or something, right? So I think are we always doing that, Carl? I think so.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I change my mind all the time too.
Yeah.
Right.
And things change. Like look at Canada Post has stepped up and
And
really,
down.
what's that?
Stepped up and
they,
down.
they've done a few things that kind of tick me off, but I mean, listen, between them and eBay, they've come up with some really good shipping labels.
Oh yeah, it's
like
the
price.
best thing that's changed in the last 5 years.
Yeah. So things like that change, then you got to obviously look at it. So that's about it. I guess just the move has been very exhausting. So I'm kind of getting back into it. I'm still picking. I went out to a great town wide and I got some stuff. I was like, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go out and I'm just gonna get the great deals. And all of a sudden there was like, great deal, great deal, great deal, great deal. You know what I mean? Then there was one yard sale where there's a ton of great deals. And all of a sudden I've got like half a truckload where usually it's full. But recently it's been like 5 to 8 items. But this time it was like, oh my God, I got a whole bunch of items. But really super happy. And I still turned a lot of stuff down that I should normally be buying. So,
Well, yeah.
but
so priorities right now too is a little different, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but I can't not go out. Like I got a Led Zeppelin, Sublime, and Electric Rainbow. 3 blacklight posters.
Yeah.
And the black light for $3.
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
What are you gonna do? Like, I'm like, man, I'm so glad I came out. Then I got all these. I got some great action figures, $40, and like one of them I have listed right now for I think 145. It's probably
so these are statues. I wouldn't call them action figures, really. They're statues.
They're statues, but I'm just saying that I got a whole tote of this kind of stuff. Now some of them are $20, but a couple of them, and they're 100, 150. Like there's one that was kind of broken. I talked about it before the show, but like if you don't go out there, you're missing these deals, and these are like great deals you don't want to be missing.
Yeah, one of them is a Gears of War statue that came with the a collector's edition, I think. A couple of them are anime figures. Yeah, and that's really good stuff. I know there's really high end, valuable things like that out there.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know the values of what I was buying other than the Gears of War. And he had $5 on it.
Yeah, well.
And then I said, well, what do you want for all these toys? And he said $40, and you could have the tote too.
It's so nice when they actually tell you. The last 3 times I've been asked people for prices, they say, what do you think?
Yeah.
And now I just say I refuse to do that anymore because people yell at me. I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Every time I've done it, they get upset. So it's like, screw this. And I'm giving good values.
Yeah, just say you can't be buyer and seller. You can't be buyer and seller.
And half the time these are dealers.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, dealers are a little bit like why they get mad is beyond me because they do the same damn thing.
I know. We're all hypocrites.
Oh.
Like I had someone offer me 3 Tamagotchis, and they can be valuable, but it depends on the model and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like he said, "Oh, I don't know what price." And it's like, this is a dealer. And it's like, okay. So I offered him a good amount, like $50. It was good. Like they're probably worth 200 maybe. It's hard to tell, right?
Yeah.
And he said, "No, not even close." It's like, well, you had a value, and he just walked away. Yeah. So like, what? Like, I didn't offer him 10 or 15, $5 each.
More than a fair value.
Or a starting point at least.
I would have said $5.
Yeah. Well, my friend said, I wouldn't have offered more than 3 of them 25. So
yeah.
And then I'm not saying I was wrong. I'm just saying keep the communication going here. Anyways, so I'm not doing it anymore because I had that scenario happen too many times with good offers. So it's like,
dude, don't give up on it. They're just those guys are just you can't let them change who you are. You gotta keep pushing out there. I wouldn't stop giving offers. And I would go lower. Don't because you're gonna feel okay. I got to go higher.
Mm.
but push yourself to go lower offers. Just say to them, listen, you can't get mad. You asked me to make you an offer. If you got something in mind, I asked you first. Like, just tell me what you're thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they're a vendor, I'm gonna say, listen, you've been here too. How many times have you got things for $1 that you paid sold for $50? Give me a break. That's what the name of the game. If you got a price of mine, let me know.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know. I think
I agree.
sometimes they
I
need
know.
to be kind of put in their place a little bit, like get off their high horse.
Well, sometimes like vendors, we can be a little greedy, especially me. And we want retail when we're selling to other vendors, but it doesn't really work that way.
It doesn't work that way. I've given stuff away to other vendors
I
because they
usually
have
do.
been so
Yeah.
good to me. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So if they treat me good and they see something in my booth I like, I'm going to either give them a really good deal or I'm going to give it to them.
Yeah.
Because it's going to come back. It's good. It's part of the game. But if you're one of those guys that gets pissed off and storms off, and
It's funny how our perspectives can be different because that was my impression, but I was talking to my friend who was there at the same time.
yeah,
And the guy said, "Oh, he wasn't pissed off. He just said, okay, never mind," and left. So it's both two people, same scenario, two different impressions.
yeah. But
Sometimes we
that's
can
still
be,
not the way to go to it. Like, make a conversation. Like, you're both
yeah,
vendors, or you're both in the game together. You know what I mean?
I know.
So, if the guy really needed a couple bucks, next time he's going to come to you, he's going to take that deal because he needs, I don't know, whatever, the gas money. I don't know, whatever. But like, sometimes luck can turn. You know what I mean? So now you're just going to tell him to go jump a fence. You know what I mean? Go take a hike.
Well,
But I'm not saying he had to give into that deal. I'm just saying he could have made, listen, bud, I know what they're worth. It's a good offer, and I know that's your game, but I need to get a little bit more out of this. He could have
yeah.
said that, right?
Well, I would be fine with that. It was like,
Yeah.
it was for me, it was the intellectual discussion of like, how do I keep that conversation going and not have the result that we had? That's what I find interesting.
Yeah.
But, and
Just say, look, and then grab the stuff.
well, I could have done that. I had them for a while. So what Tamagotchi? What are you talking about?
Dude, I watched this thing. I think it was on Instagram. And so this guy come running around the corner as the lady was emptying the groceries out of the back of her car. And he goes, hide me. He goes, he's after me. And he jumps in the trunk. And then the woman he goes, shut it. And she shuts the trunk. This other guy comes running and he goes, and he runs by, and then he comes back and he goes, did you see a guy in an orange jacket, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, yeah, he just kept going that way. And he goes, and this is all recorded on some camera, right, from the house. Yeah. And he goes, there's no way. He goes, let me check your house. And she goes, no. She goes, get off my property. He goes, let me check your house. No. And also, the guy that's in the trunk crawled in and took off in the car. So what they're saying is that these two people were cahoots in order to steal the car.
Right.
Which to me makes no sense because
why would you go through this?
Yeah.
Just
if she's taking something into the house, just jump in the car and go.
Yeah. You don't need to do any of this stuff.
Like, it's just.
No. Like, what are you gaining by going through this?
Yeah.
Fraud. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. But that's what they were kind of claiming.
It's more entertaining the other way.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty interesting, but.
There was speaking of scams, there's a nasty one in Ottawa, I heard. So someone used the distraction technique.
Yeah.
Where they ask you a question, then someone else steals your wallet, and they stole the person's wallet. Okay, that's at the end of it. And then they got their phone number, and I don't know how they got the phone number, but they got the phone number for the person and called them up and said, "Oh, I'm the bank. Your card's being compromised. We see a funny Shoppers Drug Mart transactions. We need to cancel your card, but we need your PIN number." Yeah. So you got to be careful. But you know, it's like all these scams. Like if they didn't work, they wouldn't do them, right? And sometimes we're
Yeah,
not
but
thinking on all cylinders too. It's easy to sit here while like we're nice and calm and having our coffee, but when you're in that situation and your panic button is on and your adrenaline is up, you're not thinking in the same way, which is what they count on.
well, I would just know that they can cancel your card at any time without any
Oh
requirement.
yeah, that's the logical one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways, so let's talk about CP for a second because we're already getting angry and we also keep going with the anger.
Okay.
So Canada Post on Canada Day
Yeah,
decided to update their software, which is fine. You got to do it.
yeah.
But they broke Canada Post, and you couldn't even buy Canada Post labels at Canada Post at the desk. That's how broken it was the next day. And so a lot of people like us who rely on Canada Post had issues, right? So they fixed it quickly for the next day, but what they didn't fix was eBay. And you know, we were just talking earlier about like the discounts we get, $7, but it wouldn't work anymore. You could not buy it all on eBay. Canada Post labels. It cost me 2.5 to 3 times as much at the kiosk as it would have online. Not to mention the pain in the butt of actually having to have the address and writing down the address and going to the place and having them do the postage. It was horrible.
Yeah,
And
and the cost comes off
oh yeah,
off of your profits because you've already charged the client based on previous prices, right? So
yeah, and you can't go back and say, "Hey, I need another $10." It doesn't work that
yeah,
way.
yeah,
So the thing that was really confusing too is if you list it on .com or .ca, it's software. The software is different, so it's fixed on .ca, but not on .com. So when you talk to people, some people say, it works fine. What are you talking about? And other people was like, it's broken. Anyways, the next day occurs after I paid all that money and they fixed it again for .com. But then .ca broke. And so then it came back again saying, like, oh, everything's fine. They fixed it. And other people was like, no, it's broken. Then it was .ca.
yeah,
And I was really angry, I must admit, on, I think it was Wednesday of last week or Thursday of last week when I
yeah,
couldn't print. And I just went and wasted $20 for nothing. Like, just might as well have lit it on fire.
yeah.
It was very frustrating.
And then following that, there was the that I dealt with was the when you were able to print a label, you could no longer get those discounted labels that they
Yeah.
had worked out. I don't know, over a year ago, a year and a half ago now. So my lowest label I could get is $18.88.
And when you're used to $7,
Yeah, 7, 8, at least under 10 and
yeah,
under, right?
yeah.
And it was brutal. So anyway, that only lasted a couple days, thank goodness. But well, the other one lasted a couple days, and then this one lasted a couple days. Uh, so anyways, they got it fixed though, Carl. But yeah, it was getting a little frustrating for sure.
Oh yeah, especially if a lot of your items are at the lower end, right? Like, you know, I was talking to Salish and he's having the same problem and he sells a lot of pins. So those pins are selling for like, you know, at the low end, $5 to $10.
Yeah,
You know, when you have to pay, oh, in those cases, you can use stamps. So that's a little different. But in like the other stuff, he might not have a huge margin in the first place. And there, it's all gone with this extra $10 he has to pay. Not to mention, like, you have to deal again with things like the fuel surtax, which I forgot about, and the GST, which you're just not used to seeing anymore. It's like $17 turns into 21. It's like it gets real old real quick. So hopefully it seems everything's stable now. Seems like they fixed it, but we're so reliant on that. And my biggest expense is shipping. It's nothing else. It's shipping is my biggest expense. So
well, I felt that this was good. Like I don't know. Maybe I was just tired, but I really felt, oh my god, this is going to be a really long fix. Like to fix the prices and go in there. Like, do they have to go back to Canada Post and they kind of have to negotiate or make sure everything's good? Like, I don't know. In my head, I was thinking that this is going to be very complicated. This is going to be a long haul. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because at the time there were two theories. One is that the discount rates got dropped after a time period,
Yeah.
uh, or it was a bug. It was a bug, thank God.
Yes, for sure.
So, and
Because
it was frustrating because you didn't experience this, but other people experienced this. Is you could refresh the page and get different prices for the shipping, which worked for a while and then broke.
and then that stopped. Yeah, I couldn't do that for me, but
Yeah, that point when you were trying it, that had broken already again, where the refresh didn't work.
yeah.
So yeah, it was. And who knows who got that extra money?
UPS did in my case.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, I try to right now with everything. I'm trying to avoid any UPS FedEx if I can with outside of Canada, but
Yeah,
in Canada it's fine. But yeah, what a mess, eh? It's
yeah,
just like on top of everything else that's been happening, it just feels like another hammer blow. It's like leave us alone.
yeah.
Like was I hear another thing I've been hearing a lot is summer slowdown, but some people are doing really well. So it's kind of funny. I think you
Yeah,
know,
I mean, I've been dealing with this move for 2 or 3 weeks hard,
yeah,
and then before that, but there was about a month and a half because I've been moving now for about 2 months. But um, I can't complain, and I've said this before, but based on what I've been listing, and really, I haven't really been listing much other than or selling similar to ones I've already had listed. So right now, I can't really complain too much. Like,
yeah.
sure, I would like my sales to be more, but I can't complain. I can't complain because I haven't been doing my job. So
Well,
been
yeah,
busy.
yeah. You had to be fair on yourself, but like,
Yeah. The booth has been holding its own. It wasn't a bad month in June. It was pretty good. Um, July and August were open Mondays now through it's called summer holidays. So we're only closed Tuesdays. So that extra day should help. Uh, so the my booths have been doing okay. Um, I'll say this kind of publicly. I mean, there's not everybody's listening, anyways, but I haven't fully decided. But I might close down one of my smaller booths and just run with two, being an hour from there instead of 10, 15 minutes. So, so that might be kind of a change that I'm looking at doing. But outside of that, and the only reason I'm going to do that is because it's going to be hard to keep three booths full when I'm
yeah,
only going there one day a week. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Maybe
yeah.
maybe twice every now and then. But but we'll see. Like this is all up in the air, so we'll have to see how that goes. But really happy with the results of the booth. It's been holding its own.
Oh, good.
Not as good as last year, but it's definitely good. It's kind of normal. Last year was kind of just really good.
It makes raised expectations.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I kind of have a number in mind, and I'm hitting that number now where I was above it last year.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I think there was September was the only month that I didn't go above my expectations of last year,
yes, yeah.
2024. It was crazy. It was just a weird year, and everybody was talking about, like bad times, right?
They're
So
still talking about it right now.
I know. We've been talking about it for
I
five
think
years.
we've been talking about it for 40 years, to be honest.
I,
Like,
I I do agree though that it's going to be tough for a lot of people, but there's a lot of people that just have money, and I think that's who the market always has kind of drawn its people from. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
yeah,
you know what, Carl? Honestly, like I'll be honest. I see more people, even in St. Thomas. Like I'm seeing people just on the streets. Right? They're kind of
yeah.
hidden here, where Simcoe's a smaller town, so they were kind of out in the open. But I've never seen that my whole life.
I was reading Reddit and people were saying like some managers were talking about whenever they open a a job,
Yeah,
they would get 20 to 40 resumes, right? But now they're getting like 100.
yeah,
But it's I still think it's always a guess. Like, but I think anytime there's an economic thing, there's a delay. It's never immediate. It takes a while.
yeah. And some
So
places get harder than others.
and some places get harder than others,
Yeah.
right? But also, what people do will stop spending if they're scared, right?
Yes.
So in Ottawa, they just announced 15% job cuts in the government, just like today.
Okay.
So no matter what actually happens, people stop spending because it's logical, right? Why spend
Sure.
if you're not sure, right?
Yeah.
The chance of losing your job is low,
Yeah.
but you're not going to go buy our trinkets if you need to make rent or the mortgage payment or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's hard to tell because it's all just people saying stuff. I like to see the stats. So, but either way, we have no effect on it. And just like you just said, the high end of the market, like the people who are retired, the people who have lots of income, they're not really affected in the same way.
Right.
Um, it's the low end I think might be affected, but it's not that I've gone really through a recession. So what do I know?
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's hard to say. I'm not an economist, I guess you'd say. Like I don't know. I just kind of like to kind of pay attention a little bit, know the trends and stuff like that. But he now, so our some of our friends here, a couple. So the guy was a very good businessman. He had like a very big business. He has a number of businesses, but the one was handed down from his father, and he's taken it over, and it's a very like they have a house in Florida, put it that way, plus here. You know what I mean? Like they're well off. So, anyways, that doesn't make any difference in what I'm about to say, other than that he's a business person, and he said that there is an EV company coming in, and this is why they're doing all the road changes and stuff in St. Thomas. So they do batteries, right? And they're coming. It's supposed to be a big industry, but that big industry alone could create up to 300 other businesses within
Yeah.
St. Thomas.
Yeah.
So they're expecting a growth here. So you might have downfall somewhere, but other places are growing. You know what I mean? So has that happened? No, it's all speculation. But there is a big battery company coming into the area, factory,
Yeah.
which will create jobs, which will inevitably create smaller businesses,
To support
restaurants,
it. Yeah.
whatever, right?
And
So
the employees. Yeah.
how housing, as the city grows to accommodate, I don't know, 3,000 people, then other things will grow. You know what I mean? Come into because there'll be additional needs for those people. So anyway,
Anyways, we'll see. We'll see.
we'll
We'll
see.
see. We'll see. It's
Yeah.
like things
But
are still not quite
they're
settled
changing all the
anyways.
roads, the infrastructure of the roads, like the bypasses, the highways. Like they've done all this work just for this big factory to come in. So
Well, no matter what, you got the roads.
what's that mean?
No, well, even if the EV never comes, at least you have the roads. They're not
Yeah,
going to take the roads back out, so that's good.
right. I think it's here. Like I mean, I don't think they're gonna fix. I mean, you say that, and then all of a sudden, in the past they've done shit like that, but I don't know. We will see what happens, but hopefully there's a growth. Like you know, hopefully there's a bit of a growth spurt in business and jobs. Like that's the main goal, right? To keep people employed. But you know, Carl, like I don't want to get into this point too, but I know there was an influx of immigration, and I would go to the butcher shop, I would go to stores, and people would come in asking for jobs. Like these guys are going knocking door to door.
Yeah.
I haven't. I don't think it's since I was like 19, 20 years old that people were going door to door, like knocking. Everything's online, but these guys were going door to door, dropping off resumes.
I have seen a little bit of that too.
Yeah. So
Um,
very aggressive, very, very aggressive on uh, the job search.
mhm.
But
Yeah, I think it's a bad time to lose your job. Let me put it that way.
yeah,
So on to something else a little bit. Oh, were you done with that?
yeah, pretty much. Kind of rambled on enough. Yeah.
So I finally went to Lachute yesterday, which was Tuesday. So Lachute is a town in Quebec, about I don't know half an hour northwest of Montreal,
Yeah.
and they have a big flea market there. And it's an hour and a half about from Ottawa, hour and 15, hour and 20, something like that. And so I went there yesterday because when I talk at Morrisburg, the McAfee flea market, a lot of people say they go there on Tuesdays. And I needed the stars to align, Scott, for me to go. And finally yesterday they aligned. So I thought, well, I'll go out there and check it out. Oh my God, it's so much bigger than I ever thought.
Yeah.
It's probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, maybe even more bigger than at the McAfee flea market in terms of vendors. Long line. I'm horrible at guessing, but I'm guessing 80, 100, 100 something vendors, something like that. If you
Yeah.
include everything. I didn't even go to half of it. It was that
Yeah.
big.
Yep.
And the nice thing is it's a mix. So you think, so when I mean mix, like half of it or a third of it is stuff, people selling stuff like we buy, antiques, collectibles. A third of it is farmers market, which I didn't even go to that side. So I don't know what's there, but I'm pretty sure it was just like vegetables and fruit and like who knows what else. And then a third of it about was people selling new stuff like belts and leatherworks, and
Right.
someone was selling clothing and
Tommy Hilfiger.
yeah, that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But the reselling part of it, that was more than enough to keep you busy.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you're losing out. It was so busy that they're actually charging for parking a little bit. This is a small town, right?
Yeah.
So it's funny because I just drove in and got a parking spot right at the front and didn't think anything of it. But supposedly I lucked out because I talked to Salage and he had to like park down a side street and he was there earlier than me and I just went and got the front spot. It's like, oh, this is easy.
So somebody left just in time for you.
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. No, you sent me some pictures of that. I thought that was really, really interesting. Something I'd like to go to.
Oh, yeah, you definitely enjoy it.
Yeah.
For the reselling side, I think it was a mix of people asking retail and wholesale. But honestly, that's true for garage sales and other like Morrisburg too, right? It's the same thing. And I went mostly that day just to scout it out because I wanted to see who's there. Because when I'm at McAfee Flea Market where I sell every Sunday, there's vendors I go to straight because they either have good stuff or reasonable prices. Hopefully both, but I'm happy with either, right? And then there's the people who bring the same stuff every week and have high prices. I don't even go to those booths anymore to look. I might take a glance, but this I wanted to see there, this one. And some of the people who sell at McAfee are also at Lachute. So, yeah, and I know them, my friend Paul and Bill and stuff like that. So I went to see them too. And I bought a few things, but Sales got a whole he did really well. He got these amazing badges and stuff like that of Canadian war badges and things.
Nice.
So he was pretty happy. I got some more Brat stalls. So I sold a Brat stall a few weeks ago. $175 American. And I got positive feedback yesterday, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Without the box or in the box?
No box, not complete at all.
Wow.
If it had been complete, it would have been $500-$600 American for it.
Because that's a Brad stall, eh?
Yeah.
I bought for $40. I bought probably, I'm gonna say at least 60. I got 2 big like shopping bags with handles of Monster High, Rainbow High, or Rainbow Shadow High. and all sorts of accessories.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
so I don't know if there's any brats in there or not. They just had a huge table.
Monster High is good too.
Yeah, the actual the Rainbow Shadow High wasn't too bad either. You're looking
Yeah, that
at
one I've never heard of before. So
yeah. I'll show you once we're off the air. I'll show you some. I'll bring them up. But I was thinking about putting them in an auction in lots and their clothing, like not on eBay, but like in another auction. Just because I don't know if I want to go through them. But if you're saying there could be some like that
I
price,
yeah, I would totally just Google Lens that stuff.
and
I
then yeah, I
cherry
think
pick out of it.
it just seems like so much work, and I'm like, why did I buy this?
Yeah, but Google Lens, man.
It's just the price was so good, dude. I'm like, if I put them in the booth for $10 a piece, there's like $600. You know what I mean? How do I not get this?
Yeah.
Like, and I know Monster High, but the clothing is in tubs like this.
Clothing makes me cry a bit
Oh,
because I know it's important, and those damn kids playing with their toys
yeah,
will swap out the clothing instead of leaving it in pristine condition for us resellers, right? It's
exactly.
so annoying. Like
Yeah,
the doll I sold, like for brats, it was missing its earrings and its ring, which I disclosed, but it's really important because some kid played with it.
yeah.
So yeah, but clothing, big piles of clothing, I cry a little bit, and then they get shoved into a bag, not to be seen for years, because I don't want to deal with it. Right?
Like, yeah, but it's funny. I just kind of like reminiscing here of your past couple of sentences here. Why should we be so surprised? You know,
About
well, that a doll is worth that much, because these action figures, they sort of shock us, but we still keep buying them because we know that there's some out there. So
yeah, and
why should we be just we should, like, this is the girls side of things, right? So
yeah,
it's still very,
like who spends
there's gonna
money?
be those anomalies out there that are just 100 $200, right? So
Who spends money on this primitive art? It looks like it was done by a 5-year-old.
yeah, but I get that. I can understand that a little bit. You're hitting a sensitive spot, dude. Like,
Really? I
yeah,
can't believe it.
no,
Totally
but
didn't do that on purpose.
no. It's just I don't know. I mean,
Wow,
I guess
I got a good punch on you. You're like against the rings and the
no, it's not that. It's not that sensitive. I respect the artist and it being a one of a kind thing, where these things are mass produced in China.
right.
So it's a total different thing in my book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So you can say, oh yeah, folk art is folk art, and there's lots of folk art, but it's a one-off carving, and someone sat there and probably did it for a couple of beans, where you know what I mean, like back in the day, but now their stuff is taken off, or it's a neat look, but it's a one-off one. It's just a one thing. You know what I mean? You're not going to find that anywhere. Where this is like, these things are molds. You know what I mean? Like, they're produced like by the hundreds of thousands. So a little different in my book, but anyway.
I want my Star Wars toys. I don't care if it was made by a billion people. For
Your Star Wars
my
or
Star, like if I see Star Wars toys,
I thought you were going to say Star Trek, dude. I thought you were a Trekkie.
no, not. It's funny. Yeah, I won't get into that. But Star Trek is more of a philosophy than a collecting thing for me.
Oh,
Not that I really collect Star Wars either, to be honest. But I can appreciate a good Tie Fighter or AT-AT.
but are you a Star Wars collector or
Not really.
no?
I was
Oh,
just more talking about like a mass produced thing that I can appreciate, right? Like
yeah,
I'll hold on to some. I got some around here, but mostly because I wanted to hold on to them for a little bit. But
yeah.
the only thing I'm really collecting now is I bought a portrait miniature, but those I can never get anymore. It was a fluke. I bought a Roman coin for my friend at the market, so I was happy with that. But that's a little different. Daenerys from about 200 BC, so getting up there in 2,200 years old. That stuff is cool, but
Yeah.
you're not going to find that too much. But But back to the flea market for a little bit. So it was really good in terms of like so many people in one spot. So I kind of was thinking back when I was walking around saying, I need to see, I got a bad memory, right? So I can relearn the same thing over and over again. Yeah. And there's a lot of cherry picking opportunities there too, where someone will have a big bin full of toys, but they won't necessarily be cheap. They might be $5 a toy, right? But there could be $30, $40 toys in there plus, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not an expert enough to pull just those ones out. And in this situation, you're not going to buy the whole bin cheap enough from this guy, right? Because he wants $5 a toy. You know what I mean? It's not a garage sale, just like my booth isn't a garage sale. So knowing the stuff like that, like I sent Scott here a picture of like he asked if there's any primitive art, and I just sent him some quick pictures, right? But I'm not going to pick stuff out because I'm not an expert on that, and they're asking $300, $400, $500, right? So, but it could be worth a lot more. It's just that you have to be, because like at this one, people from Montreal, like dealers from Montreal, come to.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's like a bunch of ignorant people selling their stuff at a car boot sale. This is like,
well, I think the best thing for, at least when I go to that kind, like maybe I don't go to the flea market part of it, but I've gone to antique stores and I've seen other people's collections, and I kind of, and I look through Miller and Miller and I see what they get for some of their stuff.
Yeah.
But I think what you do there is you learn, because then when you hit on the next estate sale, and the kids are selling off dad's collection, or a couple of his items are thrown in with the dishes, you know what I mean, on a table at a yard sale, you'll be able to pick up, say, wow, that's a nice piece of folk art for $5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it could be worth $50, it could be worth $20, but it could also be worth $500. Like, and how you're going to know that is kind of by age. Is there an artist that signed it, or just the style and what it looks like? Like, is it Canadiana? Is it, you know, what is it a carving of, or a picture of, a painting of, right? So
yeah, and like when you're buying from that estate sale from the family, it's very different, of course, than from the market.
Right. But you learn from the market, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, your knowledge is a lot. Like often when I'm buying from like garage sales or not estate sales here in Ottawa, but maybe from other places, you're getting things cheaper, so you can take that chance, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully something comes out of that. Like with a market like this, there's not too many I've only been there once, but there's not as many opportunities just to buy things in bulk cheap. Because, like, you know, my friend got a whole bunch of medals, which was amazing, right? But he paid up.
Yeah.
But it's still a great deal. Yeah. It's just that he knew some were good enough to pick up, you know, and pay up for it. That's
yeah.
Right?
And don't get me wrong, I was only kind of saying that there's more benefits to going than just actually buying stuff to resell.
Yeah.
Like, you're learning is kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah. Right? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because learning is just as valuable as, or more than, finding that one item that you're paying $200 and selling it for $400, because now you can go out to these yard sales and your eye is going to gravitate to a whole new genre of stuff, right? Or you'll flip over that item and you'll see, okay, this is $300. Why? And you'll study it, and then you'll go to another vendor and he'll have something kind of similar and he's asking $300. And like, why are these expensive? But you still, your brain is kind of feeling that vibe of what it is. Am I making sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And when you're there and you physically see it or physically touch it,
yeah,
it gives you much better than just visually looking at it in a book.
100%. Just the sizes, like the sizes are the boggle my mind. Like sometimes it can be like so small and it's like, holy cripes, I didn't know it was us. But then sometimes it can be really a big carving. You're like, holy cow, that's huge. I wasn't expecting that. But you know what I mean?
Or a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. which I thought was the size of
which is
6
not
inches.
folk art, but it's
Well, the same thing, right?
yeah.
But
You
yeah,
lose perspective on the size because it's just a photo of it, right? So,
yeah.
but um, like little miniatures, I sold some little miniatures which were crafted by artists, whether it was like a pottery or a mold, like a I think I had a couple sterling pictures, right, by artists and stuff like that. But they're like an inch or less, but they look exact. And we've talked about this kind of stuff before, right?
You're talking
But
about the doll furniture stuff?
I'm talking about doll furnitures or just miniatures. Like you wouldn't if you don't put a ruler beside it in the photo on eBay, you would
Yeah,
never know that that crock is only an inch high because it
yeah,
looks like a crock that is,
yeah,
a normal crock, that
yeah,
takes two hands to carry.
yeah.
So I'm just saying, like pictures can be very misleading. So, um, for size and stuff like that. So it always boggles my mind sometimes when I like, holy cripes, that's not what I expected. But I don't know. Maybe I was getting off topic there.
Well, no, that was good. Like I think, like I was just saying, let's shoot's good. I'm not going to rush back because it is an hour and 20 minutes there, so it's like 3 hours to get out there and park, right?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I find enough stuff.
So is it a place where you would do well selling things?
Oh, I think people do well selling things, yes,
But
because
it has to be that certain stuff, right? Like,
well, no, because remember I was saying like I think the one good thing about this place is it's a mix.
yeah,
So you think, well, and what you do with the mix is you're going to get customers who are there for the farmers market who wander into the reselling market, the antique market. It might pick up something where they wouldn't have ever have bothered to go to the market if it was just antique vintage stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like a mix of customers.
What's the charge of a vendor? Like what? So first of all, what's the average size of their selling space? Ten
Well, at
by
least
10,
20
10
by
by
20
20.
by 10 at least.
Okay, okay. So do they say how much it is for the day?
I didn't ask. I could ask,
And
but
you were saying people stay overnight, like the vendors.
yeah. They'll go so it's on Tuesday morning at 5 a.m. they
Yeah.
start, but the vendors will go on Monday night, okay, and sell to each other. I don't know if the public is allowed there or not. I didn't ask because there's no way I'm doing that anyways. But yeah, and then they sell overnight, and I talked to them because I know some of the vendors now. I talked to them. I said, "How did it go?" And they said, "Actually, it was bad because it was raining so much. Everyone hid inside their vans, but
Oh,
they sleep overnight in their vans, and then 5 a.m. they're up selling. Not everyone's like that. Like there were people setting. Like I got there for 8, and there are people just setting up. So they just drove there and then they set up. But it's like one of those things. You get better spots near the front where people are coming in if you're early, right? And that's the ones people want.
do they ever say? Have you ever heard how many people walk through there on a Saturday?
I don't know. Dude. It was busy.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I'm just saying it was good weather.
Yeah.
It was hot, but it wasn't crazy, and uh, yeah, and it was busy. It wasn't so like you couldn't walk around. It wasn't like you're shuffling around. Like it wasn't like that busy,
Yeah.
but it seemed fine. Like I'll ask the guys how they did it on the weekend. But like I said, a lot of the vendors they're also there to buy as much as anything else. So it felt like I found out like the secret in a way of like where all the people are hanging out at the secret party. It felt
Yeah.
a bit like that because I recognized some people from Ottawa, resellers here in Ottawa, who I didn't even know went to this market at all. It's
Yeah.
like, oh look, there he is.
Yeah.
So it felt a bit like that.
It's a small world, right? Small community.
Yeah, and most of these guys are willing to drive,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
or
My
stay
buddy's
overnight
like
in their
that.
vans.
My buddy's like that too. He goes out to places in Montreal and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Bowmanville and all over. So my cousin, he was a tobacco farmer, vegetable farmer, that kind of thing. Sold his farm, bought another farm. Now he's into these strawberries that are grown in containers like 4 feet off, 5 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
So they don't touch the ground. These are big
Yeah.
strawberries, kind
I've
of.
seen that done with tomatoes.
Yeah. So they're like higher end. So anyway, St. Jacobs, which is north of Kitchener, he's selling his strawberries there. So he had to get a vendor spot, which there's other people selling antiques and different things, but there's also the farmer's market side of things. He says that they were told when he got there that there's anywhere on a like non-raining Saturday, there's anywhere between 20 to 25,000 people that come through those
Oh
gates.
wow.
Yeah. So he has a big van, refrigerated, takes the strawberries up there, fills the van full of all these picked big strawberries. He's charging a premium per flat because they're better. He calls it the best strawberries, right? They're tasty as heck. Like I've gone over to this place.
They actually have taste, because every strawberry I have just tastes like nothing now.
No, it's one of the best strawberries I've ever tasted. And he said it still wasn't quite ripe, even though it was big. It was the size of a small, like a baseball.
Oh, okay.
Like it was huge, dude. Like 3-4 bites. Like it wasn't just one little. But anyway, and it was a little bit white inside. So he says it wasn't quite ripe yet. So anyway, I don't know. I'm not a strawberry guy. So anyways, I talked to him a couple weeks later, and he was at the market. He's been there. He's done it for 3 days. This is like a week ago, so he's been there a couple weeks. He's going to be there, right? He can grow these strawberries. There's not like just a season of a month. Like he'll grow them right to October because they're under
staggered. Yeah,
right. They're under a canopy and they're off the ground. All this shit. He was sold out by 11 o'clock, but his contract says he has to be there till 3. Every day he's been sold out by 11 o'clock, and he's starting to get people that come to his strawberries returning. So he hadn't even gotten a clientele, and he was. My point was, if there's that many people going through those gates on these days, like it's 3 days a week. I think it's Saturday, Sunday, and a Wednesday or Thursday or something. But anyway, like I'm thinking maybe I should be going up there and once a week and selling antiques or like resell like used goods or something. You know what I mean? Whatever seems to be the trend. Normally it's antiques and collectibles, but that's a lot of people to be going through those gates though, right?
That is a lot. How far away is it?
It's about, I'm gonna say 45 minutes north of Kitchener. St. Jacobs.
So how far from you?
Probably an hour, between an hour and a half, just roughly.
Yeah, so it's the same as me as in Lachute, right?
Yeah. But it's just...
It's too bad it's on Saturday.
Well, that's the thing, for sure. But, I mean, Stephanie's available.
Oh, my God. that's it.
But anyway, she doesn't listen to the show.
No. Well, Amy definitely doesn't. But that's one of the nice things about I like about Lachute. It's actually on a Tuesday, which I'm not doing anything anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't even know if you have to I don't know. I guess with his contract he does, but as a vendor, if I was like just there on one day a week or something, I don't know. I wouldn't want to go there 3 days a week. You know what I mean? That's kind of a pain. But I mean, hey, if you're doing $1,000 a day or more, yeah, then I guess you got to go. But
yeah, I think too with these markets, it's you don't have to be there too, which is kind of nice.
Yeah,
you just go if you want to, right? You're not forced.
Yeah, for sure. But he has to stay till 3 o'clock too. He had to stay.
So what's he doing? Just sitting there in his chair?
No, he was walking around looking for an ice cream. He goes, it took me half an hour to find an ice cream. He goes, maybe somebody should be selling ice cream. I have a couple more ice cream places. But yeah, no, it's funny. But it's just it's amazing how there are these little places that people do flock to, and it's a little gold mine. You know what I
And
mean? And you
I
just
had
have to
no
find.
idea.
You just
Yeah.
have to find it. That's all, right?
I had no idea this thing existed.
Yeah,
Right. Like, how many other ones do I not know about? That's what I kind of question myself with.
yeah,
Like, and an hour and a half is a little far away to go, but like Morrisburg is just an hour. It's not that far. In fact, we went to the cottage on Saturday of last weekend, and it took us like 2 hours just to get through Ottawa. Amy was livid as we sat there in traffic. It was horrible. But anyways, that's part of life. The nice thing about these places is they're remote, so
yeah,
there's no real traffic on the way there either, because no one's going that direction, which is kind of nice.
yeah.
But I just wish they wouldn't do things so early. Why so early? 5 a.m. Can you believe that?
Dude. Okay, I'm gonna keep within the time thing, but I'm
Yes.
gonna still go digress a little bit. The last couple town wides that I've gone to, people are up early. I'm getting there like 6:45, and I'm not the first one. So
Yeah.
people are getting up early right now. I don't know what it is. Usually, lately they haven't been, but there's people out there putting out yard sales.
I remember I was saying here in Ottawa, I was having the opposite. I get there that early and no one's even set up.
Yeah,
So I'm just driving around for nothing.
yeah.
They
There's
didn't.
a lot of people that set up between 7:30, and 8.
That's more likely it.
Yeah,
7:30 and 8. Yeah.
but there was some yard sales that were setting up before 7 o'clock.
Hmm.
So I'm like, holy cripes! Like, anyway, it is what it is. Bought a Briar horse. I thought it was really good, and then I found out there was a chip on one of the ears.
Uh,
It was kind
I
of
yeah, I threw it out a
three
horse a
bucks
while
on it.
ago.
What's that?
I threw it out a horse. I felt bad, but it's just like once it's chipped like that, I didn't even want to deal with it anymore. It's just like,
Yeah, I don't know.
it happens.
And it was the ladies. Oh, I know, because I'm looking for that little
Yeah.
stamp, right? Oh, I know what you're looking for. You're looking for that mark. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you want for this? She goes, $3. I'm like, okay. And then I get it home and I'm like, how did I not notice that stupid chip in the ear?
I know.
You know?
I fill
So,
things up so much now. I'm just like sitting there, hands all over,
yeah.
trying to feel that little bit. But sometimes even then, you get home, it's like you miss a flea bite. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you try to convince yourself, oh, that was the original when they made it.
Yeah.
Was,
Well, I don't think I chipped it because I
no.
had it in this canvas bag and there
Yeah.
was nothing in it. Like there was no part of that ear. And it's very small. It's something I probably missed. But it was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You never know. Like ears and noses,
Yeah.
that's the first, and fingers, that's the first place I
Oh,
try to
fingers.
check.
Yeah.
But well, that's good. Is there anything else you want to like? We're good. So we're gonna try and keep it. This show's a little shorter. We talked about.
Yeah. So I'm good. I'm good. That's about it.
Yeah.
Kind of letting everybody know we're back, what's going on, and that it's all my fault, and that I've got my act together now.
Well, I'll accept it this time. Considering you're
Till,
doing all the editing, all the posting.
yeah, until I move again.
Yeah. Well, maybe this time when you move, it will be a little different.
But yeah. So yeah, other than that, it's been kind of what it is. So we're here every Friday.
Yep. Spotify,
and YouTube audio only. So we're here every Friday that I feel like posting something. I'm just kidding. We'll get back on track. So
awesome.
All right. Anything else, Carl? That's it.
Just the second half of the show is going to sound a little funny because it was shot from a show that never aired. So we're cheating and reusing those bits. So if we say anything funny in reference, that's why. So that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, have a good week, Carl. Have a good week, everyone. Are you going yard selling this weekend?
I don't think there's any posted. So
you gotta go find them. You got to go hunting.
Well, there's also an auction where the pickup is on Saturday,
Okay.
and it's a bunch of stuff I'm kind of interested in.
Okay.
So we'll see. I've been fairly good at listing, so I mean, I'll keep actually just list the stuff I got. So we'll see.
It's not a bad strategy.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Have a good week, everyone. Have a good week, Carl.
You too. Bye, everyone.